Spoiler warning, this video will contain spoilers for My Hero Academia, so don't watch if you haven't seen it. Hello you lovely cubs, it's the Dragon Lord here, back again with another video. In this video we will be talking about what if Deku had a storage quirk. Just to clarify, the storage quirk would work similar to Kamui from Naruto, but instead of time progressing like in Naruto, that space dimension that Deku will own just stands still, like full time stands still. So if you put like a piece of paper in there that's on fire, and you grab it out, it will still be on fire because it doesn't go further in time. And any other abilities that he will be getting will be covered in the what if. So without any further ado, let's get into it. In kindergarten, Deku and Bakugo are playing together as friends. They are both 4 years old now. Both have not shown any signs of quirk manifesting yet. They are playing with cars when all of a sudden the car in Bakugo's hand gets blown up. His mother gets called over and she takes him to a doctor. They determine that Bakugo has an explosion quirk, and they tell him that it would be a great quirk for a hero. This boosts Bakugo's ego a lot. The next day, Bakugo is showing off his quirk to everyone. When Izuku asks him if he would like to play again, but Bakugo just refuses and tells Deku that he will only acknowledge people with quirks, and this is when Bakugo starts calling Izuku Deku, which upsets Deku, but he tells Bakugo that he will manifest an amazing quirk, and that he'll... 4 months or so pass, and Izuku still hasn't manifested his quirk. Bakugo still bullies him through this time. One day at the park, Bakugo is bullying a kid, when Izuku interferes and tells him to cut it out or he will stop him. This makes Bakugo upset, as he sends a blast towards Izuku, when all of a sudden, a purple mist absorbs it and goes through Bakugo's body. Bakugo is confused by this, but looks at Izuku, as he sees that his body is emanating this purple aura and that he has these purple squares floating around him. When Izuku says enough, a purple sphere turns around and blasts Bakugo with a massive explosion, bigger than he set off. If you don't know Bakugo's quirk, it lets him sweat nitroglycerin, which he can then set off to make an explosion. When the purple sphere went through Bakugo, it absorbed all his sweat, which made Izuku able to set off a big explosion. This explosion was so strong, it sent Bakugo flying into a wall. Bakugo would be scared by this, but amazed at the same time. He would start respecting Izuku a lot more, and the two would even become friends at one point. Deku would be taken to the quirk doctor after he got home though, and after running some tests, the doctor would tell Inko that Izuku has a storage quirk, and that inside of his storage / dimension, like time just stands still. Izuku would ask the doctor if he could become a hero with this quirk, but the doctor tells him that there will only be a slim chance, but that it is possible if he works hard. Izuku takes this to heart and actually starts training. For 10 years, Izuku would be training his muscles and his quirk. He would be quite buff and taller too. He would be as tall as Ida, and half the buffness of All Might in his big form. In these 10 years, Izuku would learn a lot about his quirk. For example, he can actually enter his storage. He would be able to change anything in his storage, however he wanted. For example, a piece of metal could become a sword, but he would need the resources and the knowledge to, of course, pull this off. When Deku leaps in his storage, time stands still. For him, he will not age, but he will be able to train. But he hasn't done this since he wouldn't get the permission from his mom to do this. Eventually, he would be able to change how fast time would go in his space. Well, for him, so for example, he could be in his storage for a year, but he would not age, but he would come out and it would only be a day. So he could learn a lot without actually time progressing. When Izuku lets someone enter his storage space or dimension, whatever you want to call it, I'll just call it storage, he can make them freeze like the objects or let them move freely. Deku would learn one more crucial thing in this time, and that's that he can put his hand on an object and absorb specific parts of it. For example, if Deku put his hand on the ground, he would be able to absorb gold, diamond, iron, you name it, and he would be able to collect it. He figured this out when he was 7, and since he needed books to learn the elements to make stuff in his dimension, he decided to get a huge diamond that was worth trillions out of the earth. He replaced this space with dirt from a mountain, and he sold this diamond. He would become famous, but people wouldn't know his identity. They would just know that he is the luckiest person on earth, or that's what the media knows. Deku would mostly study from 8 to 10. He would learn everything the world has to offer at 11. This is when Deku actually starts creating stuff himself. You see, because he is so smart, he created environment-friendly power, supplies, and some other stuff like hero gear, and a lot more that actually made his family a big fortune, a bigger fortune than even the diamond. Again, his identity would be hidden, but because he is so smart and rich, he was required to go to a lot of these meetings with important government officials. He would always wear masks when he went to these events. At one of these events, when he was 13, he met this girl named Momo Yaoyorozu. Because they were at the same age, the two talked and eventually exchanged phone numbers. Quick intervention, for those of you wanting to know, Izuku still goes to school, but Bakugo does not know that Izuku is rich, and they did train together, and Bakugo knows that Izuku is strong. But anyway, back to the story. A few months pass, and Izuku has to prepare to give a speech to this really important event, one where all of the world leaders would gather. Deku doesn't mind this and prepares the speech, and actually is pretty pumped for this. He puts on his favorite mask, which is like this black mask with these 3 red scratches on it, but he would have these 2 hairpins that would resemble All Might's hair, but instead of yellow, one would be black and one would be red. At the event, the person who organized it would start talking. Off to the side would be a few benches, and to the side of those, there would be some doors right next to the stage. The person calls up Izuku first, who sits in a diamond-coated chair. Izuku is not too stressed, but all of a sudden, the person who we shall call David, yes, this is David's shield, calls up All Might. Izuku is shocked by this. When All Might sits next to him, David calls up some other heroes, and some important people too, but Izuku is too stressed to catch their names. All Might actually says, "Sir, it's an honor." But Izuku instantly replies with, "Oh no, you don't need to be so formal. After all, I'm still a kid. Plus, you're #1 hero. Like, you're really cool." As Izuku just keeps babbling on and on, All Might actually has a lot of respect for Izuku, even though he doesn't know Izuku's true identity. But he respects Izuku for all the good he has done for the poor and the world with his eco-friendly. Izuku would actually start fanboying a bit, but then he would reach for his bag and grab out a book that would say on its cover, Hero Analysis 13, for the future. As Izuku would ask All Might's signature, which All Might gives Izuku. All Might asks Izuku if he wants to become a hero, but before Izuku can answer, he gets called up to the stage. Izuku respectfully bows to All Might and goes to the microphone. Izuku would start speaking. "Good day, everyone. Over the last couple of years, I've done a lot to try to improve the state of the world, and it's been very peaceful, which we all have to thank to the symbol of peace and the pro-heroes for, protecting everyone. But lately, villains have started to pick themselves back up. Banks are getting robbed, people getting killed and kidnapped. We have to put a stop to this. So I've devised a plan. We will make a special force for every city, handpicked soldiers by the city's mayor and residing pro-heroes. With this, we will be able to determine what soldiers, policemen, and heroes will be suitable for the job. My company will make the best tech support items for these people, so that no villains, no matter what quirk, would be able to escape. We will put an end to all villainous behavior and create a world of peace. Are you with me? The crowd of government officials from all over the world start cheering and saying yeah. After Izuku gets off, All Might tells him that it was a great speech. All Might then actually gets up and supports Izuku's idea. After the conference, All Might would love to talk to Izuku but can't because of his time limit. Izuku actually had to go because he had a date with Momo. Momo at this point is the only other person besides Inko that knows that Izuku is the boy behind the mask, and Momo actually fell in love with Izuku for multiple reasons. When Izuku has a mask on, he is respected so much, even some of the most popular pro heroes like Endeavor and Best Jeanist just can't not bow. Now, Izuku calls himself Gemino when he wears the mask. He got it from a kid's cartoon. When he was a kid, that was pretty much it. A few months pass and Izuku and Momo are dating. Izuku became 14 and is taking a bit of a break from his hard work and just enjoys school life. Bakugo and Izuku are rivals, but one day after class, Bakugo asks Izuku if he wants to hang out with him and his friends, because they're going to the arcade. Izuku refuses, saying that he has to get home early. Izuku takes a shortcut under a tunnel when a slime villain appears. Izuku tries to trap the slime villain in his dimension, but fails, and gets captured. He gets saved by All Might, but Izuku still passes out because the slime villain was trying to make haste and damaged Izuku's insides. Nothing lethal though, or scarring. All Might stays by Izuku after entrapping the villain in a bottle, and notices a weird book. He picks it up and reads Hero Analysis for the Future, number 13. All Might thinks, no way, and goes to the page of his autograph. He sees that Deku is actually Gemino. Out of respect, he doesn't tell Izuku that he knows, and he doesn't tell anybody. When Izuku wakes up, he is shocked to see All Might. Again, All Might tells Izuku that he has to leave since he has only a few minutes left of his buff form, but he doesn't tell Izuku that. But Izuku then clenches onto All Might's leg, and this of course drops the slime villain, who catches Bakugo. On a roof, Izuku is about to ask All Might a question, but then All Might reverts to Small Might and then proceeds to tell him about his injury. All Might then says, so you're a Gemino, right? Which takes Izuku by surprise, and Izuku asks All Might, how did you know? Your hero analysis book. I figured it out like that. Izuku sighs and asks All Might to keep it a secret. When he agrees, but only if Izuku agrees to keep his injury a secret. They both agree to this, and All Might is about to leave, but Izuku calls out to him and asks him if he could become a hero with his kind of quirk. All Might asks him what his quirk is, and Izuku quickly explains it. After explaining, All Might tells Izuku that it's a good quirk, and that he will probably be able to become a hero. Izuku takes these words happily and goes on. When explosions are heard When Izuku arrives at the explosions, he's questioning why the heroes aren't doing anything. When he sees it's the slime villain, he instantly realizes that it's his fault. All Might can't do anything because he used all his power to save and talk to Izuku. When Izuku sees that it's actually Kacchan trapped by the slime villain, he starts running without thinking. He places his hands on Bakugo and the slime villain, separating them with his quirk. After they are separated, he screams, Mighty Concealment! Which traps the slime villain in a ball made of really dense high-quality steel, leaving not a single crack for the monster to escape from. Bakugo asks Izuku why he saved him, but Izuku just said, my legs moved on their own. All Might gets inspired by this, but if you want to know what happened next, you'll have to wait for the next video, which I will probably be releasing today, but I'm not certain, so I think tomorrow. Also, for those of you that watch my channel, which is not a lot of you, but the One Piece series part 3, it's really difficult for me to retrace everything because I have to rewatch the episodes of One Piece, so it's gonna take longer for me to do the One Piece series. But while I'll do the One Piece series, I'll also do the My Hero Academia series, and in the future other series, so that while you're waiting for episodes, you don't have nothing. So yeah, because I don't want to do, because these are really easy to make, so I can like do this in like 3-4 hours, but like the One Piece will take me multiple days because I have to rewatch the episodes, make the script, actually like think about how it would happen, so it's not as easy. But I'll get it out, like the One Piece probably Tuesday or Monday, depends, because I also have school, work, and stuff like that. So I'll see you guys probably in the next My Hero Academia What If. Bye bye.